It is a journey through the Bible with Mukhwana Isaac. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And in case you just joined today, we've had a number of episodes. You may visit the previous, right from episode 1, from the word go, right from that moment, and keep following up to this episode where we have reached. The exile, of course, in Babylon is something we shared in our previous sharing, and here we are looking at God's people in exile, that time of spiritual purification. And this is this was between 587 to 538 BCE, before Common Era. And I want to thank you for being good, for following these episodes each and every time, for driving lessons from them and applying them into our own lives. And remember, it is where scripture meets the truth. So today I want us to look at the exile making a renewal possible. Briefly, it's what we are going to do now. It is one of the most remarkable facts of human history that the exiles in the main did not give up everything. They didn't give up everything, these people. Yes, although their hopes of returning to Judah seemed very slightly, they still retained and remained a separate nation, Yahweh's nation, among the Babylonians. They had suffered much together, of course, sharing the same hardships. They became more of a community. Private problems such as sickness and injury became community affairs, with everyone showing a real concern for the welfare of others. Their memories of the homeland brought them close together. But above all, it was their religion which made them one. And in spite of all the dangers to it, it stood firm. The sufferings they had undergone, loss of security, their nation and religion mocked at and humiliated, made these Israelites, who had formerly been so careless and self-centered, open themselves to God. Now exiles in a foreign land, they mediated. Actually, what they did was to meditate on all that had happened, on the warnings of the prophets and the hope of a remnant remaining, and they turned back to God. Although they were full of sorrow, as we read in Psalm 136, far from the temple of the holy city, the Israelites in Babylon kept the law of God and the traditions of their history. They continued to sing the beautiful psalms of their liturgy and realized, as they had never done before, the beauty and high moral purity of these their prayers. All of these things were so many, actually were so many, and they helped in their return to God. It was the prophets, helped by the priests, who were the ones who caused the people to return to God. They helped the people not to lose all hope and to see once again their vocation and to follow it. They were just like Christ, who, when on the road to Emmaus, explained to the disciples the meaning of the scriptures and his suffering, that they opened their eyes and they returned to Jerusalem, the place they had left, because they had lost hope. And so these people, in their journey, remember in our last hearing we said They engaged in agriculture. They engaged in many things. Yes, they treasured. But again, as the time went on, they had to rediscover themselves slowly, slowly. They had to rediscover themselves by asking themselves, but where do we belong? Where did we come from? What are we supposed to do? We heard Amos talk of a remnant. A remnant shall remain. But where will that remnant come from if not from us? They had to reconcile themselves, to regather themselves, and do the needful. This marks us the end of today's episode, and tomorrow we shall see Israel's religious guides during the exile, the people who guided them, and we shall look at different guides. Talk of Jeremiah, briefly talk of Ezekiel, talk of those ones. We shall look at them briefly and the work they played, and that's when we shall dig deeply into Ezekiel and we see what he did. Mukhwana Isaac with the journey through the Bible. Do not forget to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe. Be blessed.